Good afternoon and welcome to 90 Minutes Live, which this afternoon finds us at Watson Park, home of Ware FC, and in front of one of only two games which survive in Southern League Division 1 Central. It's a big one as well, 6 against 5th, as Ware take on Biggleswade Town. This is 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct, and we'll have full live commentary on the match for you this afternoon from myself, Pete Hill, and sitting to my right as always. Very good afternoon to our match summariser, Simon Alamandi.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pete. Good afternoon, everyone. And after a couple of weeks off with postponements and things like that, we're back. It's nice to be back. At least it's dry for now, and it's not too cold, so hopefully we're in for a dry afternoon.
Well, sunshine's come out here at Watson Park to greet the two teams, two skippers in the centre circle. Quickly take you through the lineup. Much changed lineup for Ware. Sam Bentley makes his debut in goal, the 19-year-old on a dual registration with St Albans City. Two fullbacks, Stephanus Giorgio on the right, Ben Siggers, who was here as an under-14 on the left. He signed in midweek. Two central defenders will be Echo Coker and Dan Rumans. Darian Furlong will play just in front of them. And then in central midfield, we've got Freddie Moncur and George Ironton back here for the first time since 2012, when he made 50 Ware appearances in 2 seasons. Then Joe Dearman on one side, Liam Dawson in the other, in support of Ramaya Mills up front. On the bench, young Tom Kay, Richard Ennin, Kieran Bishop, Jack Dreyer and Matt Walsh. As far as Biggleswade Town are concerned, Kyle Forster, former Ware goalkeeper, in goal. Jack Morrell, Cole De Silva, Kieran Forbes, Lewis Thorpe, Charles Briggs, Tommy Blanna-Hassan, Luke Andrews, Harry Draper, John Lacey and Callum Wilson are their starting lineup in all green. Tony Burnett, John Clements, Marcus Goldborn, Cad Badgie, who was signed yesterday from Stotfold, and Brett Longdon are the substitutes. Our referee this afternoon is Tommy Breen, who's a development officer with the London FA, and he's just about to get proceedings underway here, with Ware kicking from right to left in a sunlit Watson Park. Didn't expect that early on this morning when the heavens were opening, and away we go. In a game which means a lot to both sides, of course. Ware have been inconsistent at best, but a place in the playoffs is very much up for grabs, as it is for Biggleswade Town, who had that marvellous FA Cup run, of course, which took them all the way to the fourth qualifying round before losing to Solihull Moors. And then they've got a game in hand on Ware. Both have the same number of points. As inside the centre circle, the ball headed down on that far side to the left back, who wears number 12, Jack Morrell. And Biggleswade with Kieran Forbes, immensely experienced skipper, spent 4 years at Hendon, of course, coming forward, but robbed of the ball there was Luke Andrews. We'll throw it back inside the Biggleswade half, so at a bit of a frantic pace here, as one's chipped forward looking for John Lacey, and the challenge first of all for the young goalkeeper Sam Bentley, who comes out and deals with it well. Collects the ball forward by Dan Rumans, intercepted by Forbes on the halfway line. Here's Lacey, plays the ball out on that left hand side. Lacey gets it back again, goes for the 1-2, but Giorgio's in the way. Here's Joe Dearman, who's popping up in the centre of midfield. Long ball forward, and we'll just have a word with Simon in a minute about this Ware formation, because not something I think I was expecting, as the ball comes forward, and once again Bentley's out on the edge of his area, but two up front. It's the first time we've seen that. Joe Dearman playing just behind them, and George Ironton and Freddie Moncur behind that as well, with Ewan Coker as well pushed up a lot further in midfield, although essentially, Simon, I think it's a 3 at the back, isn't it?
Yeah, it does seem to look like that. As you said, it's not exactly what we was expecting, but obviously we know Paul's made a couple of new signings, and perhaps with that, he's felt it a better way to go about this game.
Well, Liam Dawson's played most of his football on the left-hand side since returning from here. It's put him in good stead as well. I mean, he's scored 14 in 15 appearances, but very much up front in support of Ramiah Mills, who gets the ball from Dan Ruman's throw-in midway inside the Biggleswade half, turned back onto the halfway line for Furlong. Furlong's long ball on the far side, looking to search out Giorgio, who'd come forward. Giorgio has to turn away from the attentions of Callum Wilson, and then goes backwards to Coker. Coker's ball forward for Liam Dawson. Coker again to the edge of the area. Is Joe Dearman inside that area, scuffs the shot. And in the end, it looked like it bounced away from Joe Morrell and behind for a corner. So Joe Dearman again, he was having a good position there.
Yeah, he was in a good position, but I think the ball just bounced a little awkwardly for him. He tried to get his leg up and get it around it, but unfortunately it didn't fall correctly for him. But Ware win a corner, so a positive thing.
First one of the afternoon, George Ironton. Very much a man for a dead ball situation. We'll take it. It's a good one as well. The header comes in and just over the top by Darian Furlong. They hadn't picked him up. Good corner and a good header.
Yeah, good corner from George. Obviously we know what he can do from those sort of situations. So hopefully that's going to be a good asset for Paul to have in his pocket.
Yeah, look at it. It's an interesting formation. It's almost five at the back. Freddie Moncur just in front, and then you've got George Ironton and Joe Dearman, and the two central strikers, Liam Dawson and Ramiah Mills. It's a Ware team that for a long time I haven't seen one without wingers, but there certainly aren't any this afternoon as Mills goes down under challenge from Luke Andrews on the central line. And Dan Romans will take the free kick for Ware, the Ware skipper. 6 wins in 11 home games so far. Only two teams have won here as linesman's flag goes up on that far side. They were Northley earlier in the season and Aylesbury United last time out in that game. We're at all happened in the last few minutes. Aylesbury coming away with an away win. Where without a game last week, of course, because of the weather situation. And as I was saying in the intro, the only other game in Division 1 Central still on today, as far as we know, is Leighton Town's game at home to Stotfold. Means the big one at the top of the table is like to be played on the Tuesday night. North Lee were due to play against Bedford. Long kick forward, and once again it was Harry Draper looking to get on the end of it, but one bounce and it goes behind, and Sam Bentley will collect it to take the goal kick for Ware. 4 appearances in the National League South for the 19-year-old Sam Bentley. Started off as a youth player at Stevenage. As ball threads its way to Ewan Coker. Coker's ball forward, looking for Dawson again, but this time I think he thought he would have been in an offside position, and the ball's picked up on this near side by Holder Silva. His face is closed down very quickly by Ben Siggers, who was at Cheshunt, Kings Lynn, Wingate, Finchley as well in his CV. Young 19-year-old fullback. Throw to be taken. Goes inside the Ware half, over the top of Siggers, but Furlong will clear. Long ball forward. Mills didn't really react, but it's going to land with George Ironton inside the centre circle. Lobs it forward, where we'll get it back with Joe Dearman. Dearman on the far side for Giorgio. Dearman gets it back again to Coker. Back inside his own half for Furlong. Furlong just looks, assesses his options and plays a nothing ball really, which just takes one bounce and goes out for a goal kick. Biggleswade who've played 10 away games, have won 5 of them, one at Kempston, Stotfold, Hadley and Barton in the league, and Wisbech in the FA Cup. But I've only won one of their last 4. It's interesting, this division, Simon, isn't it? Ware have struggled this year, let's be fair. And we've got a team here who've only won one of their last 4, but they're 5th and 6th in the table.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is one of them seasons where you've got those teams that are up there and thereabouts, and everyone's beating each other, and it's almost as if when you get those seasons when no one seems to sort of like want to try and cement themselves a place in the playoffs, isn't it? It's really strange, but obviously it's worked out well in the favour for Ware, and of course Hertford is sitting just outside the playoff places as well.
And so the ball on this near side is thumped into the air by the number 5 Lewis Thorpe. Yeah, it is one of those seasons, and you just need to put some consistency together. You put a consistent run together, and things can look a lot brighter for you. Ware have got some good tests to come. AFC Dunstable away next Saturday. Wellington City, of course, they've got to face as well away from home before the next game here is at home to Hertford, the final game of 2023. And so some significant tests for Paul Hall's team, and he'll hope they'll go into those in good heart with a good performance here. Ball bounces in the air on this near side, but 8 minutes gone here on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct. Pete and Simon with you as we are most Saturdays, as Kieran Forbes threads the ball forward, but it's Biggleswade trying to get inside that box. George Ironson there. Joe Dearman does well, and Remiah Mills is on a run down the left hand side here. Mills keeps going. Good steady defending in the end by Charles Briggs, but Ware take the throw in quickly. Dearman can't control it. They can get another chance though down by the dugout on this near side. Paul Wolsey looking, and Darian Furlong. No Mitch Hahn in the squad today, so long throw, or David Sota for that matter, so long throw duties very much with Darian Furlong, who's waving everybody towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Dan Rumans and Ewan Coker have both come up from the back, so plenty of aerial presence about this Ware team these days, with Remiah Mills in there as well. So here comes the throw from Furlong. It's a good one to the edge of the area, headed down though. Lacey will try and pick it away from Joe Dearman, and does. John Lacey does a decent job, but look to be fouled, but Biggleswade still continue to come forward, but in the end it's George Ironson who gets a boot in and delays their progress. Dearman thumps it forward, looking for Mills, bounces off the top of his head, but Thorpe will sort that out and find the silver just inside the Ware half, further down the line for Tommy Blenner-Hassett. Good challenge coming in from Dan Romans on the youngster who's on loan from MK Dons. Throw to be taken by Calder Silva on this near side, parallel to the edge of the Ware 18-yard box. 0-0 here at Watson Park. Would not believe the morning and the afternoon we've had. Quite bright out there. But shots fired in, and that's the first save to be made in a Ware shirt by Sam Bentley, and he does it well. Fired in by Luke Andrews. Not sure that it was going in, but Sam Bentley had to be sure.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? He's made sure he took that around the post, and that's a good thing for him. Get that first shot faced and that first save that he's made, and that'll help him sort of settle in and hope settle his nerves a little bit, being new to the side.
Freddie Burbage still out injured, of course. We wish him well on his recovery. And so the corner's going to come in from that far side of the field. Only a movement in the box. In the end, it goes short to Forbes. Forbes one towards the near post, gets through everybody, and it was the goalkeeper, Bedley, who just poured it away. Another shot is blocked by Dan Romans, and Ware get out of trouble. George Ironson's long ball forwards, because we're going to have to watch it. Don't deal with it, and there's Liam Dolson in possession. Wrestled it away from Forbes. Giorgio in support, and that right hand side pulls the ball across the box. Oh, Mills can't get a header in, and in the end it goes behind and down the side there for a throw in to Biggleswade. But all sorts of pinball happening in the Ware box there. Yeah, there was first of all, weren't there? And they've managed to eventually get it cleared. Have an attack on the break. But a little bit of panic stations there could have been there, but they dealt with it sufficiently. Ball headed further on by Draper, but won by Freddie Moncur. George Ironson's ball went left, Liam Dolson went right, and they And it's Kyle Forster, who did have a season here at Ware a few years ago. Experienced goalkeeper, has been at Bedford. It's his third time at Biggleswade Town. Made 28 appearances for Ware in 2016-17 as Siggers is shrugged aside by Draper, who says, "Why, what did I do?" And referee wants to have a word with the number 9. A little enthusiastic.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of a tussle, wasn't it? He didn't agree with the foul, and just a little bit of a tussle there. But I think that's all it needs from the ref. Just a little talking to, little say, calm yourself down, and that was sufficient, I think.
Sam Bentley will take the free kick for Ware down on this left-hand side. Chips it to the edge of the box where it's finally cleared into the Ware half, and the back header by Darren Furlong brings goalkeeper Sam Bentley into play again. We will find Coca. He's fitted in very well in his short time as Ware as the big central defender. Bentley's long ball forward, up goes Mills, beaten to it, and a chance for Biggleswade Town to come forward again, but once again it's one of those long outstretched legs by Coker who takes the ball away. Giorgio almost got it around Callum Wilson on that far side, but then stumbled, and back in possession of Biggleswade Town with Luke Andrews. Andrews puts it back into his own half for Briggs. Ball forward for Andrews again. A sharp turn inside the centre circle. Freddie Monger can't get there. And the ball's threaded out to Lacey on that far side, who got the wrong side from a Ware perspective of Stephanus Giorgio, and it takes Darian Furlong to come in and thump it into the trees behind the goal for a corner.
Yeah, well, another move there, well dealt with, well cleared, and as you say, has gone into the trees and kind of pinballed between the branches down to the floor. Otherwise, I think someone's going to have to get onto Westmill and borrow that big stick.
Well, their game was off today in Division 1 of the Hearts Senior County League, like almost everything else was. So where is the man with the stick? Corner comes across to the far post, and it's Coker who gets a touch to take it away from Lewis Thorpe, who was cruising at the back stick. And third corner of the afternoon already for Biggleswade Town. Just Liam Dawson forward for Ware. Corner's going to be taken on this near side of the field by John Lacey. Lacey with both arms in the air, chips one towards the far post, goes over everybody, and in the end goes out for a throw-in on the far side. John Lacey, who was formerly at Berkhamsted, of course. I remember him scoring a very late goal here for them in a 3-3 against Ware a couple of seasons ago. It's Wader's coming forward again, long ball, but Bentley will watch that quite comfortably bounce on the edge of his area before he grabs hold of it. Been some goal action between these two teams over the years. 15 games. This is number 16. 73 goals so far, and in the 15. Been some interesting scores. There's been an 8-1, a 4-2, a 5-2, and 2 5-1s. But with our luck, this is going to end up 0-0. But that's where it is at the moment. Says, oh dear. Furlong shoved in the back by Draper. Goes down. Referee spots it, and Ware will have a free kick midway inside their own half. Taken quickly is George Ironson. George is then brought down by Andrews. George felt that one. A little crunch on the ankle, and the referee have a little bit of a word with Luke Andrews after that one. In fact, he's going to work with Kieran Forbes as well, the Biggleswade Town skipper. I think he's saying there was one there, and one over here. One more, and someone's going in the book. So fairly sensible refereeing, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's the right decision so far. So a couple of the decisions he's had to make, so far he's got a good mark.
Oh dear, Coke has given the ball away here. As Biggleswade come forward, Furlong's doing the defending and does it excellently well against Blenner. That's it. It was a one-on-one, but Darian Furlong showed all his experience there against the 19-year-old. To get Ware out of trouble. We've got a throw in. Nothing in this one at the moment. Biggleswade perhaps shading it in the opening 16 minutes. 0-0 and 90 minutes live in association with Easy Shelf Direct Limited. at Watson Park, Ware against Biggleswade Town. Down the line, Remind Mills, well, I don't know if he quite meant that, kind of came off his thigh, his knee, and both at the same time, but in the end the ball finds his way out and goes for a throw-in, which Lewis Thorpe can take. Northley, Hartford and Stopfold on the agenda for the rest of the year for Biggleswade Town. Interesting at Hartford, of course, because Hartford won at Biggleswade earlier in the season. As on the far side of the field, it's Morrill who picks the ball up. Looked first of all to put it in the box, but gets it back from Geraint Forbes. Midway inside the Ware half, chips it to the far post where Draper goes up claiming handball against Dan Rumans, and thankfully we're in Southern League Division 1 Central, so we don't have to wait 10 minutes for VAR to tell us it wasn't a penalty. As ball will go out on this near side, Dan Rumans will let it go. Skipper in the side, as we of course wish Lewis Rose, the Ware captain, well in his recovery from his cancer diagnosis. If you are listening, Lewis, hope you're doing well, mate. We'll certainly miss you, and hopefully you'll be out there on the park again soon. Where we've got a throw in, Darian Furlong will take it. It's deep inside his own half, but everybody's going towards the halfway line. That's where this one's aimed. It goes over the top of Thorpe, but in the end it's up in the air by the silver, but Bentley just acknowledges to Darian Furlong that it's his ball. Takes one bounce, and the goalkeeper comes out and collects it quite comfortably. Half-time sequence, of course, as always on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct Limited. Tell you a bit about Biggleswade, and also unearth our second Biggleswade Muppets link of the year. So not content with one, I've actually found another one. As Coker's ball back to Bentley, the goalkeeper just side foots it. In the end it goes out midway inside his own half. And just not get the feeling Ware haven't quite got to grips with his new formation so far, with Mills and Dawson not perhaps getting as much of possession as they'd wished.
No, I think obviously it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. You can practice it in training and do as much preparation as you want, but I don't think anything replaces actually playing a proper match of it, does it? So let's see how it folds out for the rest of this game.
Very much long balls forward to chase. Remind Mills chased another one there, couldn't get on the end of it, and Briggs thumps it forward. At the other end now, with Darian Furlong picking the ball up on the edge of his own 18-yard area. Not much of a press from Biggleswade, but do put one on now. Bentley at the hurry-up, side foots it forward. Rumans heads onto the halfway line, but it'll be George Ironton that will pick it up. 2012, amazing. He made his debut for Ware in our Hot Senior Cup tie against Barnet here. In a few places since, of course, but it's good to have him back as Stefanos Giorgio balls it across the box. Mills tries the shot, and it's well blocked by Lewis Thorpe. Ware's still perhaps got an opportunity here as Morrell is stuck down by that corner flag and gives it away to Freddie Moncur. Moncur plays the ball, tries to go round one, tries to get it across. In the end, it's the off of Lacey, and Ware get themselves a corner. Decent bit of action down on that right-hand side, and Remind Mills, just couldn't get the shot away quick enough. No,
I don't think he could. It's just a little bit difficult, but as I say, some good action down there and some determined work there from Freddie to win that corner as well.
George Ironton will take the corner from that far side of the field. Another good corner, whipped in. Oh, Dan Rumans was there on the far post and just missed his kick. That's two excellent corner deliveries that George has provided. We know what he's capable of. Not a free kick anywhere near the area yet, but we know what he can do from there as well. As the ball goes out of play on that far side, and it's going to be a throw in to Ware. But that's certainly, we know what George can bring to the game in open play, but also he brings a lot of dead ball situations.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? You know, I mean, we've seen plenty of times, you know, him, you know, taking the corners, obviously mainly for Welling Garden City, and you know, taking the corners and the free kicks as well. And you know, he's absolutely fantastic from those dead ball situations. So hopefully, as I said, you know, it's something that you know, Ware I think struggled with a little, and you know, he'll bring a little bit more to the team.
Yeah, I think we've said all season they need a number 10, and that's George's role. That's the number he wears, and that's the position he plays in as well. And he's also, he's not quiet on the field. Takes after Dad. He's not shy at telling people what to do and where to go. And I think they probably lacked a bit of that this season as well. As Darian Furlong's going to take a free kick for them on the halfway line, right-hand side of the field. Siggers has made a long way up on this opposite flank as the ball goes up in the air. It's headed out to the edge of the area, back in by Freddie Moncur. A little bit of aerial tennis. George Ironton flicks it forward. Mills was having his shirt tugged just for a moment by Lewis Thorpe, but in the end it goes all the way through to the goalkeeper Forster. 0-0 here at Wadson Park, halfway through the first half. And, only real one goalkeeper's had a save to make. Sam Bentley on his Ware debut, putting a shot from Andrews behind for a corner. Apart from that, nothing clear cut in front of goal from either of these two sides. Ware have kept 5 clean sheets this season. Only failed to score once. That was away at Biggleswade. In fact, they've scored in every home game here this season, and a few last as well. Last time they failed to score was back in February against Didcot. Here's Lacey having a run against Dan Rumans, who can't do any more than give Biggleswade Town their 4th corner of the afternoon, which will be taken once again on this near side. 3 clean sheets this season for Biggleswade. They only failed to score twice, so you'd think there would be goals in this one, but hey, I've said that before.
That's the danger, isn't it? You know, you think there's going to be everyone expecting it, and
ball goes across to Silver's cross. The header came in the end from Briggs, who was lurking. Nobody had picked him up. He went high and over the top. Yeah, you do have these days, don't you, when all the statistics point to the fact, hey, we're going to have a goal fest, it finishes 0-0. And then you've got the other game where a team hasn't scored for weeks and it ends as a 6-5. So
that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, it just goes to show you can't predict anything in this game, can you?
I think this league this season as well, you can't predict anything at all. Siggins is really pushed up on this left-hand side, a left winger with the goal kick to be taken by Sam Bentley, and likewise Giorgio on the right. Is where do go 3 at the back for this kind of situation. George Ironton drops in a little bit deep, so there's been quite a bit going on the training ground. Oh, Mills gets a massive shove in the back for a Briggs who protests his innocence. I think right in front of us, but I think no matter where you were in the ground you would have seen that. Where take it quickly, here's Joe Dearman with the fast feet, back for Dan Rumans, who's given it away to Andrews, and Biggleswade will come forward again. Here's Kieran Forbes threads it out on this near side to the right full back to Silver. Silver's long ball bounces off of Dan Rumans' shin and is then cleared by Furlong. Here's Siggers, looks to pick out Liam Dawson, who's going to be first to react and bring in Joe Dearman on the edge of the area. Dearman goes down and challenge from Andrews. Biggleswade Town don't like it, but Ware got a free kick in perfect George Ironton position.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was just, and he showed him a yellow card there as well, and I was just looking, and as soon as the ref gave that free kick, George has gone marching forward, and he's certainly looking forward to taking this one. I just get the feeling he really wants to sort of like, you know, mark his second debut with an assist or a goal. He seems really determined, and I know, you know, I spoke to him while they was warming up, and you know, he's really pleased to be here. And you know, his fitness, we know, we were speaking to his dad earlier, and you know, his fitness, he's not missed a game all season, which is great news for him. I know last season he struggled a little bit, so I think it's one of those times when you know, George is determined. He's even more determined than he always is, and he's a very determined young man, isn't he?
Yeah, we certainly know that, and there was nobody else getting anywhere near that ball when the free kick got awarded. That's mine. Thank you very much. going to be interesting how he's going to chip the ball over a wall, which are about 2 yards away. I didn't quite know what they expected there. So the referee marches them back. So let's see if Kyle Foster's got his angles right here. It's George Ironton, there's number 10. 50 appearances, first time up at Ware. This is his 51st. Can he add another goal to the tally all the way along the ground? But in the end, the goalkeeper grabs it. And not to be for George. One of those where the wall all went up and quite cleverly he thought I'll go underneath it, but goalkeeper had it well covered.
Yeah, he did. That's going to be the first of many that George is going to get to try here, I'm sure.
So Darren Furlong's it's time to clear his lines. He goes down in a heap under challenge from Blanazan, but again it's a bit of a forthright approach, I would say, by the opponent so far. As De Silva picks the ball up on this near side, puts it across the box, and it's headed out by Dan Romans. Forbes goes up with Joe Dearman, and this time it's Joe Dearman who's Forbes has a look at him. Joe says, I don't know what I've done. And to be honest, they were both going for the ball. And I didn't quite see how we got a free kick out of that.
No, I didn't quite pick up on the reasons for that. But we'll give the referee the benefit of the doubt so far on that one. He's been pretty good so far, hasn't he? So he still keeps that green tick, doesn't he?
Yeah, so far so good. Big smile from George Ironton, who put himself in front of the ball. The referee wanted him to go back, and I think George was saying, well, you know where they set up with my free kick. Lacey on this near side brings in De Silva. De Silva gets it all wrong and chips it out of the ground. It was an opportunity if he got the cross right, but that was rubbish, says a man behind me, and it's a bit hard to disagree with that comment, actually.
I'm not going to disagree with him, certainly. Yeah. It wasn't the greatest effort. It's probably better than I could do, but it wasn't the greatest of efforts.
Me too, even without the dodgy ankle. But yeah, absolutely. Isn't it nice? Commentator can actually take something someone said in the crowd and doesn't have to apologise for it. It's a bit of a breath of fresh air. As Bentley takes the goal kick, Forbes heads it. It's then chipped forward for Coker to head it towards the halfway line. Giorgio can't keep it in, and Wilson will just let it go across for a throw-in to the visitors. So they had that great run in the FA Cup. All their business, and most of their business was done in the second half of games this season. They've scored 9, conceded 6 in the first half. They've doubled that in the second half, and they've scored 18 goals after half-time. As Furlong's throw lands at the feet of Joe Dearman, who goes down. Dawson's trying to control it away from Forbes, but he manages to get it, but then it's given away on the halfway line to Furlong, who looks to bring in Giorgio on that right-hand side. He's going to have to go some, and then he thumps into the back of Morel, and the ball goes behind for a goal kick to Biggleswade Town. So both fullbacks, I think, have been introduced. I mean, we've seen various people playing right and left back this season, but very much in the wing back variety. Two small of stature fullbacks who have got a bit of pace about them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's the thought behind Paul's process for today, isn't he? You say that he hasn't got any people out on the wing, but he's got them two getting forward and sort of taking their place, sort of thing. But it's a formation that we don't really see from Paul, but variety is the spice of life, they say, don't they?
Yeah, I suppose if you kind of go back a couple of seasons when they had Finn Titchmarsh here, he was kind of player that fitted that kind of mould. Is Ramaya Mills, though. Right hand side of the box, into the box, fires the shot, but it goes high and wide of the target. Good opportunity, and Ware's best of the game so far. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've just let it, the defender there just let it sort of like come over and try to get to it before it bounced. Didn't quite judge the flight of the ball, and it's fallen to Ramaya there. He's taken it on, taken that shot. Good strength in that shot, but unfortunately couldn't quite get it on target. Well, there's certainly plenty of competition in the squad now for that number 9 jersey. Kieran Bishop's on the bench, as is Matt Walsh. Both have all good fit in there as Giorgio gets across the box, but there isn't anybody there, and Briggs finds the silver on this near side, then gets the ball back and clears with his right foot towards the halfway line. Marion Furlong's favourite to get there first, and just thumps the ball forward on this near side, can't keep it in, and so it's going to be a throw in to the Waders. One of 3 football teams in their town, of course. Can't be many teams. I mean, we've had this discussion before in the country. A town the size of Biggleswade to have 3 senior football teams: Biggleswade Town and United. Good for people of that local area. If there are any listening, glad to have your company, and thanks to your team for giving us a little bit of a push on social media. Always appreciate that. As Dan Rumans is wondering what he did against Draper. That seems to be a constant battle, but Biggleswade have got themselves a free kick right hand side of the Ware 18-yard box. 32 minutes on the clock, 0-0 at Watson Park between the 2 teams that started 6th and 5th in Southern League Division 1 Central this morning. Forbes and Lacey are the 2 players over the ball. Where have only Gebley and Dalton forward. Siggers and Dearman are forming a not particularly substantial wall, it's got to be said, inside the 18-yard box. Could be De Silva with the left, and De Silva it is with the left, only hits the head of George Ironson, but it'll break on that far side, and the shot came in from Draper and only just went wide of the target, and Bentley, I think, would have been struggling there.
Yeah, he didn't see it at all, did he? I think he was, obviously a bit blindsided by a couple of the players there in the box, but he wasn't going to make that if that was on target.
So a goal kick to Ware, just got a little bit gloomy. I expect the floodlights to make an appearance fairly shortly. As Dan Rumans picks the ball up on the edge of his own 18-yard area, thumps it forward, but nobody at the home thought with an easy header. George Ironson reacts quickest, but thought we'd get back again and bring in Kieran Forbes back to Morrell. Morrell's ball forward for Kieran Forbes. Spends time at Forest Green, of course, as well as his 4 seasons at end. Rumans and Draper are wrestling again, and this time it's Dan Rumans who's judged to have fouled. Free kick taken quickly as Lacey goes around one, can't get round Coker, but Forbes will get it back for Biggleswade Town. Plays the ball on this near side for Briggs. Briggs ball forward for Draper, who's wrestling with Dan Rumans again. It's Saturday afternoon, 2 pinfalls and a submission, I think. If anybody remembers Kent Walton. Long ball forward by Dan Rumans, looking for Ramaya Mills. Can't get hold of it, but Freddie Moncur will delay the ball's progress, and Furlong will bring it back to ground level. And there's Echo Coker. Coker gets it back from Giorgio, then threads it forward, looking for the run of Joe Dearman. But ball will drift out of play and go behind for a goal kick. I think Joe Dearman's role, he's one that I don't know whether he's too certain at the moment. We know what a gifted footballer he is, but not too sure what his role in this new formation is so far.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not sure it sort of like really sort of suits what we've seen from him before, really, does it? We're used to seeing him on the wing normally, and I don't know if it's maybe he's like struggling to adapt to it a little bit or not.
Sorry, Simon, just then, but there is, oh dear, immovable force. It's immovable object. Echo Coker is a big fella, and I think that's John Lacey that has just bounced off him like a pinball. He'd picked up a bit of space, and nothing Echo couldn't do about it. I mean, it's not his fault, but wow, Lacey absolutely clattered there.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look nice at all, did it? As you say, Echo's a big lad, and it's just the momentum that's taken into him, and JJ's literally just bounced straight off of him, and gone down in a lump. He looks, it does look quite uncomfortable, but as you say, it was just one of them unfortunate challenges that was completely unavoidable.
Oh, a bit of work for Bradley Strong, the physio. Let's hope John Lacey's okay. Dan Rumans is being shepherded away by the referee from having a bit of a debate with the referee's assistant. He's having a little bit of a word with the Biggleswade bench. They've got joint managers now, got in Danny Bain and Jim Martin. That was announced in the week. Good to see John Lacey sitting up now, so hopefully he will be okay. We've got one of those unscripted comings together of a coaching session with players taking on a little bit of fluid and some wise words from Paul Wolsey and Kevin Coon inside the technical area. Where's Joe O'Brien? He's normally there, isn't he?
Joe, yeah, I've seen Joe. He's down there. I've seen him getting up and shouting his instructions as normal. So maybe he's just giving himself a little bit of a rest for now.
Game has restarted. John Lacey's back out there, which is good to see. And it's going to be Briggs who meets the ball inside his own half, on by Dan Romans. Here is Joe Dearman. Brings in Siggers. Good ball down the line. Looking at Liam Dalton, but he's well shepherded. Joe Dearman goes in, and then it's thumped forward by De Silva. And Lacey is onside here. Here comes Bennett, and there goes the ball. Wide of Bentley, up wide of the goal. Good opportunity. John Lacey had sprung the Ware offside track. Bentley came out, made himself big as you have to do as a keeper, but surely that should have been 1-0.
Yeah, it should have been. Yeah, he should have been able to finish that, definitely. I think he just sort of like hesitated a little bit, didn't he? And good save from young Sam in the goal to please the crowd.
Darian Furlong got a thump, but he's still limping his way around about that Ware penalty area. But, certainly don't want to lose the central defender. That's an area that, not too much cover. They've got really all attacking options and a 16-year-old central defensive midfield player on the bench. So in Tom Kay. So to lose Darian Furlong would be a big blow to Paul Wolsey's team. He's gone down, and a little bit of physio action is required for him, but we know we've seen Darian limp in and out of games throughout the season since he's been here, isn't he? He always seems to be in the wars. Yeah,
he does, and he tried to carry on there. He went down initially, didn't he? And tried to carry on. You could see he was limping and really struggling, and he's gone down. So hopefully he's going to be okay. We know, as you say, the knocks and the wars that he's been in so far this season. He's a tough soldier, and I'm sure with a little bit of treatment and that cold sponge, he'll be up and running around again in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, thinking of the cold sponge, there's a bit of a December nip in the air, isn't there? Right? That seems to have descended here. Darian's still flat out, but I think he's going to be okay. And he will get up as Bob Wolsey's been out, just having a little bit of word with Joe Dearman. Darian's still sitting down, but I think it's a magic spray is being applied. He now gets to his feet. Going to have a bit added on at the end of the first half here. 6 minutes to go before the break. But with that treatment and treatment earlier to John Lacey, we're going to probably have 3 or 4 minutes added on at the end here. Still 0-0 at Watson Park on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct. Pete and Simon with you covering Step 4 football involving Hertford, Ware and Welwyn Garden City. Nothing doing for our other two teams this afternoon. As Andrews gets away on the edge of the area here, pulls it in, and that's good defending by Eko Goka. Brings the ball away, brings in Freddie Moncur, and Ware could be in here, but Moncur's pull to Ramaya Mills isn't a good one, and allows Briggs to get it back to Thorpe. He puts it back to his goalkeeper Forster, who takes a little bit of a chance, but then bowls it out on that left-hand side to Callum Wilson. Wilson's ball will find Draper this time without Dan Rumans near him, and here comes John Lacey again for Biggleswade Town. Good challenge coming in from Furlong, fired in by Andrews, and just goes wide of the target. And once more, this certainly the front three of Biggleswade Town wearing a little bit of trouble dealing with the movement. So bring Simon in on that in a minute as Liam Dalton's gone away down an unfamiliar right channel on that far side. Brings it in for Joe Dearman. Dearman's not got too much support. That's to turn away, and in the end brings in Liam Dalton again. Momentum on the attacks wane just a little, but here's Joe Dearman. onto the edge of the box. Dearman still going, threads it over on this near side, looking for Siggers. Siggers looks to go round to Silver, does well, gets the ball across the area on clearance by Morrell. He's none too certain, but in the end it's Andrews who thumps it away in the direction of Draper, and Dan Rumans puts it behind for a throw-in. But I've had just a little bit of trouble with Lacey and Draper's movements, and you've got the players like Andrews who are popping up from central midfield behind them.
Yeah, it does seem to have caused this, this Ware defence a few little issues, especially in the last, 5-10 minutes or so. But they've just got to find a way to deal with it. Hopefully, or luckily, they have done so far. But Biggleswade will be taking some positives out of that and be thinking they can find a way to break through. I think it's just a case of the Ware defence, holding strong, doing what they know they can do, and hopefully keeping Biggleswade out from the home goal.
Referee just having a little bit of work with Gold de Silva and Joe Dearman there, who were involved a little bit. Not too much in it. Andrews finds Kieran Forbes on the halfway line. Referee waves play on after a foul by Joe Dearman. Linesman's flag goes up on the near side, and there will be a free kick to Ware for offside. Joe Dearman, the referee, a bit of a debate. It's going to be Darian Furlong who's going to take the kick. Is he, or is he going to leave it for Sam Bentley? In fact, he's going to leave it for Sam Bentley, the fluorescent green kit. Once again, two fullbacks are in advanced position for Ware on either flank. Ball holds in the air onto the head of Ramiah Mills, out by Thorpe. Nobody can get hold of it, but Draper now does bring it down and finds Lacey. Lacey threads the ball forward. George Ironson in the way, away by Furlong to the halfway line. Here's Ramiah Mills, good strength to shrug off Briggs and bring in a long ball forwards. It's more by Siggers, but this time it's Thorpe in the way. Here's Lacey, who this time does get away from Goka. On that left-hand side, puts it across the box, but Sam Bentley is there. I think the thing with the position that John Lacey's playing is he's not really pushed up on the back two of central defenders, or back three central defenders of Ware, which has given them really a decision to make as whether you come out and follow him or you just stand your ground. As Silver thumps the ball forward, looks for Draper, who can't really get any kind of action on his header. And Ware will have a throw in, which Darian Furlong will take right in front of us. A commentary position about shy of 10 yards inside the half, which Ware are defending. One from the back of the stand, nice bit of elevation as we like it. Furlong's throw in, looking for Dearman, skims off the head of Liam Dawson. It's Andrews who's going to clear only as far as down Rumans. Rumans brings in Siggers, he finds Freddie Moncur. Nice little triangle, ends in Rumans trying to send Ramiah Mills down the left hand side, but Mills can't keep it in, and the ball will go behind for a goal kick to the visitors. We're in the last minute here of the first half, where Biggleswade Town nil. Paul's prowling up and down that technical area. What do you think the half-time team talk will hold, Simon?
I think he needs to I don't think he's going to be entirely happy with the performance. I think, obviously, like we said, there's been a couple of incidents in defence where they've been a little bit concerned.
There's another shot flashes across the edge of the 6-yard box from Blanagh this time, but nothing really to worry Bentley.
But no, as I was saying, I think there's been a couple of times when Ware have got forward, they've created a few chances, but I think they just need someone to try and get a stranglehold on the game, and try and create something a little bit more positive for Ware. So I think it's going to be a mixed reaction from Paul with the half-time team talk.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there was only just need to sort out that central midfield situation as to quite where Joe Dearman fits into it at the moment, because that's something that I'd like to see at the half-time. Is Siggers, who's made a decent debut, the young left-back. Good ball, which Dearman couldn't control down this left-hand side, but He's wrestled to the ground by Draper. Surely that was a free kick, but he's going to win the ball back. Tigerous challenge going in from Ben Siggers, who meant that. And in the end, he wins Ware a free kick. And of the players, I think all three, we know what we can get from George, but of the other two, they've settled in very nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sam Bentley, he's made a couple of good saves. And Ben Siggers, that challenge there, he absolutely, gets stuck in. He was determined to win that ball back, and I think down this left-hand side, he's done really well for himself so far. So,
sorry, Simon. Heads the ball down the line. Joe Dearman can't get a hold of it, but Thorpe stumped it out for a throw-in, and that, if Biggleswade haven't done their homework, can be a dangerous thing for you. Darian Furlong is coming down the touchline. He's going to hurl one of those long throws inside that penalty area. Echo Goka's come up from the back. Ramaya Mills is in there as well. So Stan Romans, plenty to aim at for Darian Furlong. This will be handy time to score. The ball goes up in the air. Draper goes down with the most exaggerated of yells on the edge of the 6-yard box against Dan Romans, and the referee added on very little to the end of that first half as he blows the whistle. But Ware 0, Biggleswade down 0.
Well, I mean, as you said earlier, I was expecting a little bit more added time to be added on for that. As you say, the two injuries that we had during that half, but a half full of few chances. And it's, as I said, some positives and some negatives for Paul to take from that. But he'll go in reasonably happy from that. As you say, the three debutants, they've done well, so that's positive to take from that. A couple of negatives in defence, but let's see what the half-term team talk provides and how they come out in the second half.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Talking to people before the kick-off here, talking to Steve King and a few other regulars, and the real feeling on this game was it was too close to call, and I think that's been borne out by the opening 45 minutes here. So, a half-time sequence on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct Limited. You can tell it's half-time, can't you? That's the rustle of the bag of crisps, which has come out of the bag. Tell you a little bit about our opponents, and normally Simon has the hard job to do, but he's got the easy job today because of the weather, because there's hardly anything going on. So updating the scores is going to be a lot of postpones. So I'll tell you a bit about Biggleswade, 11 miles southeast of Bedford, population of 22,000 last time it was looked at on the internet. 1785 was a prominent year in Biggleswade's history because it was the year of the big fire, which started at the Crown Inn after a servant dumped hot ashes on a pile of dry straw, evidently. It took 4 hours to bring under control, and a loss in, just put this in perspective, a loss in 1785 of £22,000, which I should imagine was an absolute fortune then. And the Crown Inn's still there, actually. It was closed for a while, but it's now been opened as a Wetherspoons. So hopefully we'll get no repeat of the 1785 Great Fire when somebody burns too much the Christmas dinner a bit too enthusiastically. Biggleswade was also home of Holm Mills, which had been home of Jordan Cereals since 1893. J.R. Goldthorpe and Sons, the hardware store, is the oldest shop in the town. That opened in 1869. And Biggleswade gets a few references from Samuel Pepys, twice in his diaries. Also mentioned in Monty Python's Piranha Brothers sketch. And also the High Street featured in Michael Gayne's classic movie Get Carter. Famous residents include Dan Oldbone, inventor of the first tractor, and Mary Tilby, who founded the temporary home for lost and stray dogs, which turned into Battersea Dogs Home. So we move on to our Muppets link every week for new listeners who think, what on earth is going on? I was posed earlier on the season the challenge of finding a link between the Muppets and our opponents for the afternoon. Biggleswade was an easy one first time round because musical director of the Muppets, Derek Scott, who also played the piano for Rolf the Dog, was born in Biggleswade. So you'd think, wow, that's a nice easy one, isn't it? And so I challenged myself to find a second one, and I did, because the second one involves Charles Penrose, who's most famous for penning and singing the song The Laughing Policeman. He was born in Biggleswade, and in 1980, and this will impress you, Simon, on Muppet Show episode number 518, just to be a little bit precise, it was performed by Marty Feldman and a chorus of Muppet Policemen. So Charles Penrose, who was born in Biggleswade, his Biggleswade song was sung in Muppet Show episode number 518.
Well, very impressive. Very impressive. I hope for your sake we don't see Biggleswade again this season, because otherwise they're in trouble.
I think we're going to. I'm in big trouble. But I'll tell you another obscure fact, actually, not Muppet related, but related to that little incident, the fact that Marty Feldman used to go at my school. So there you go. Woodhouse Grammar School, North Finchley, N12, whose famous pupils are Marty Feldman, Melvin Hayes, who played Gloria in Elaine Hotmum, and various other things. Peter Anderson, who in the 70s played football for Luton Town, and well, that was about it, really.
Well, I mean, I don't know. The only, if I say famous person that I can think of from my school has got a link to the one you just gave, to Luton Town. So it was a guy I knew very well. I used to do judo with him, and he went to my school. He was in my sister's year, and Stuart Douglas, he played for Luton Town as well. And actually, thinking of another one, there was a chap that lived down my road, Rob Hayter, who played for West Brom. So, yeah, there's nothing to do with Biggleswade, but a link to Luton Town.
Links everywhere.
There we go. Right, so I'll tell you about the one game that is on in Southern League Division 1 Central today, and Leighton Town, they're hosting Stotfold, and Leighton Town are leading 1-0. So I'll also bring you up to date on the women's Golden Boot. There has been a little bit of movement, and I was thinking about this while I was looking through the recent results. And obviously, Pete's going to bring you the men's Golden Boot in a while, but the women don't, they're not as high goal scorers as the men's. But the problem with the women's, Pete, is in the Beds and Hearts Women's Football League, sometimes the fixtures are called off a day before or a couple of days before if one of the teams can't get a team out, and then teams are awarded a home win, or they're penalised for not being able to put a team out by getting a defeat. So obviously in the women's game they do have that slight issue of some of the games being postponed. So although it will say sometimes, if you look at the league table, that a team's played 10 games, sometimes they might have only played 7 or 8 due to some of those fixtures being called off. And I'm not even going to talk about what's been said in the women's game and women's football and commentators and anything in the last couple of days. I'm staying well clear of that. So as I said, in the Golden Boot, still led by Laura Cousins off of Sherrard's Wood. Paige Pryor is in second place. She's from St Margaret's Street. She's on 11. Laura Cousins out clear on 13 for Sherrard's Wood. Then followed on 8 by Claire Cranfield from Sherrard's Wood, and Katie Deeprose and Jessica Duff from Bury Rangers. Then we have 3 players on 7 goals. We've got Amber Strauss, also of Sherrard's Wood, Christina O'Connell from Watson Park, and Nicole Emmings from Harton United. So there's a couple of fixtures in the women's games tomorrow. I know Hertford have got a game against Biggleswade, they're away. Watson Park are away as well. And I was thinking, Pete, I said to you before the game, and I was thinking, right, I've been signed off work for 4 weeks. great opportunity to get down to see Hertford Town women. I've been telling Tom and Danny and all the guys down there, I'm going to get down to see a game. I thought, excellent, 4 weeks off, great opportunity to get down to the Smile IT Stadium to watch them. And they haven't got a home game for the next 4 weeks. And none of them are particularly close anyway, so it doesn't look like I'm making it for the next 4 weeks either.
Those are the breaks. That's just the way it happens. In the men's Golden Boot, it's so congested at the top. Jamie Marshall of Hertford Heath and Eben Mabona of Hatfield Town have both got 17 on top of the leaderboard. Hatfield Town are in action this afternoon. They're taking on Buntingford at, of course, the Smile IT Stadium. So whether Eben can add to that, who knows. 15 just behind them is Kamani Collington of Hatfield Town as well. We're watching Liam Dawson there this afternoon. He's got 14. And then you've got Louis Debenham of Westmill and Kendall Giamphy of AFC Welling, who didn't have a game this weekend anyway, so the weather wouldn't have mattered, who have both got 12. And so that's how the Golden Boots in the men's game looks. A few other little bits of news. Game at Smile IT, talking about that on Tuesday night, when Hertford will be taking on Bishop Stortford in the Hart Senior Cup, with the right to play either Tring Athletic or Watford in the quarter-final. 7:45 kick-off there. And see a few Hertford spies in the audience this afternoon. And see Ian Bush and Colin Hay down there just in front of us.
Yeah, I see them. I mean, Colin told us, obviously, these are Hertford's next two opponents, he said. So even if, Hertford had a game today, he'd have been down here spying and watching this one anyway. We've got Billy Mardell Smith, he's sat behind us as well. So, I mean, I've seen Brian Jennings here as well, so you've got a few Hertford regulars here today, and I think it's nice. We know Brian likes to get about a bit, and he'll go to a few Ware games, and it's nice to see, isn't it, that obviously you've not got no game today, so go and support another local non-league club.
Yeah, I think it's nice to see that it's fiercely competitive when they're on the pitch together. No doubt about that. But, we've got a couple coming up, of course, Ware against Welling Garden City and then Ware against Hertford.
Sorry, Pete, saying about that, I did see that you are able to book your tickets for the Ware Hertford game on Boxing Day. So, obviously, helps avoid a little bit of congestion on the day. So, if you are going to be attending that game, you can get on the website and order your tickets in advance.
Yeah, it's Hayley has sorted that out, hasn't she? So our friend Hayley Spink, thanks to her. I'll have to have a word with her actually, because I want this seat now. So I've got an ulterior motive in getting this seat, because we may be having a little bit of an addition to the 90 Minutes Live family, being a little table and put things on. So,
well, I think we'll have to do what we did before, get a couple of signs up, and I mean I'll have a word with Hayley after the game and see if we can somehow get these two seats reserved permanently.
Well, there we go. What else we got? Also, a happy birthday to Cyrus Babai from Welling Garden City, 24th birthday today. His mum put something up on Twitter. So happy birthday to Cyrus, and thank you also to her actually for Linda for providing us so many pictures. She has an unbelievable number of pictures from their games. They're on a good run, 4 wins in a row. Next week they will be away at Aylesbury United, but you will find us next week on the road. I think it's safe to say now we will be at AFC Dunstable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, AFC Dunstable, and hopefully, as I've said before, it will depend on what time kick-off is for my child. I know my daughter's got a cup game that was postponed again today. It's all the way over at Garston Ladies, which is about a 3/4 of an hour journey. So that's got to be played next week, because in her league the cup games take precedence over the league, so it just depends on what time the kick-off is for that, but hopefully I'll be joining you over at Creasy Park.
Plenty of memories, Creasy Park a couple of years ago, and that dramatic playoff semi-final, of course. as teams rejoin us. We were hoping to be joined by Nicky Ironton, actually, but I think he stood us up. I don't know, we're going to have to have stiff words with Mr. Ironton Senior. He was going to come and have a few words. I haven't seen him since. Maybe it's stage fright. I don't know. I don't think so.
I think. He was down by the dugout. And before I came up to you, I said to him, I'll see you up there, and he said, yeah, I'll come up there. So hopefully, fingers crossed that at some stage he'll come up and join us and give us his thoughts on the game.
Yeah, whether he does or not, really good to see him here. And watching George in action, of course. Two teams back out. Doesn't look like any changes are going to be made by either manager. So we'll go through the lineup. Sam Bentley making his debut in goal for Ware, the 19-year-old, a decent first half. Two wing backs in Stefanos Giorgio down the right and Ben Siggers making his debut on the left. Three central defenders, Eko Oka, Darren Furlong and Dan Rumans. And then three in central midfield, Joe Dearman, Freddie Moncur and George Ironton, in support of Ramaya Mills and Liam Dawson up front. The Ware substitutes, young Tom Kay, Richard Ennin, Kieran Bishop, Jack Dreyer. Good to see him back on after injury, and Matt Walsh. As far as Biggleswade are concerned, Kyle Forster in goal, Jack Morrell, Cole De Silva, Kieran Forbes, Lewis Thorpe, Charles Briggs, Tommy Blanahassett, Luke Andrews, Harry Draper, John Lacey and Gavin Wilson make up the team that started the first half and will start the second here. Kicking from right to left at Watson Park. Score here at 0-0. All to play for in the second half, and won't take us too long to work out the league table, as these are the only two that in contention in the top 10 who are playing this afternoon. Referee counting up the players, having a little bit of a look round for his assistants. Look at the watch, and as the temperature drops and the floodlights shine out on the evening at Watson Park, time to get us back underway in the second half, and this one in Southern League Division 1 Central. Away we go then. Long ball forward from Lewis Thorpe. This near side Draper's given Giorgio a bit of a shove in the back again. And certainly see for centre forwards, you can't fault Jack Draper in the way he puts himself about, and Harry Draper rather, the way he puts himself about in that centre forward position for Biggleswade Town. Game's going to restart with a goal kick from Sam Bentley from the goal away to our left-hand side. Right-footed downfield. Decent kick, lands midway inside the Biggleswade half. A header came in the end from Briggs, but Ware will get the throw in. Briggs heads it back again. Andrews tries to turn away from Giorgio. Ramaya Mills manages to keep it in, but Andrews reacts quickest and Thorpe will play the ball to the right-hand side to Briggs. Briggs' ball forward for Lacey, dropped into his own half. Long one forward by Forbes, looking for the on-running Draper. But Bentley comes out and collects it quite comfortably. As far as Ware are concerned, well, they've scored more in the second half of games as well, but they've conceded 26 as well after half-time. Goal difference in the table stands at evens. Biggleswade plus 10 with the team in front of them with a game in their hand on the same number of points. Giorgio's ball forward, looking for Ramaya Mills. And despite the fact this fixture's had a lot of goals about it, I get the feeling that the first one's going to be really vital here. Ware have only lost once this season when they scored the first one, as of Biggleswade Town as well. Having said that, Biggleswade have come back 3 times from going well behind in games. Here's Giorgio, picks the ball up from Furlong's throw in. Oh, good cross going over. Did it get a touch? It did in the end. And Briggs, I think it was, and goes behind for a Ware corner on that far side. Good whipped cross coming over there.
Yeah, good cross from Steph, wasn't it? And it just about evaded the Ware attackers, but gone out for a corner. And as you were saying earlier, this first goal in this game, as you say, I agree. I think it could be vital.
Here's George Ironton with a corner. High one this time for the back stick. Even Goga can't get under that. He reacts well to keep the ball in, but it's then thumped against his shin and behind for a goal kick. The ball collected by Kyle Forster on that right-hand side. So a decent crowd again in the house here at Watson Park. That's the fact. If you wanted to watch any local football, then you could be watching County League, of course, at the Smile IT, or you come here because there's precious little about otherwise. Long ball forward, and that's going to be an interesting thing as we go towards Christmas, because the weather doesn't abate. There's going to be some real fixture congestion in the early part of the new year. Congestion on the halfway line here as Wilson's trying to dribble his way past 4 Ware players, but it's sorted out by Freddie Moncur. Morrell thumps the ball forward. It's Lacey on his own inside the centre circle. They haven't picked him up again. Dan Roman's luckily in the way, though, of the intended through ball for Draper. Ware could have been in trouble. Coker's long ball, trying to search out Dawson on the far side. One bounce, though, will take it out of play for a throw-in. And the subs bench, by the way, for Biggleswade, didn't mention it earlier. A couple of strikers, Tony Burnett and John Clements. Marcus Goldborn, Katie Bagg, who they signed yesterday from Stotfold, and Brett Longden, who's a right back. So attacking options. Surprised not to see John Clements play, but another former from our local teams, of course, with his time at Welwyn Garden City. Here on this near side, though, a Biggleswade Town coming forward. Morrell for the on-running Andrews. Andrews is there. Coker going across did well, though. Read the ball, and in the end he gets a throw-in as well. It's mentioning the debutants in the Ware time, but, you know, Echo Coker's had precious little time as well. We saw him make his debut at Waltham Abbey, and he's slotted in here like he's been there for years.
Yeah, I think it's great to see that... you know, as you say, he's slotted in, and these new guys today as well, have also slotted in nicely. So I mean, that's, you can't ask for anything better than that, can you? But everyone knitting together so nice. I think that's the thing, because I don't know how many of them do know any of these other players from previous clubs and times beforehand. But you get that, don't you? A lot of these players know each other beforehand anyway.
Yeah, you think Echo and Sam. Was the free kick headed on by Dan Romans. Wilson's got to be alert because he's got Giorgio behind him, and Freddie Moncur will pick it up. It's Steph Giorgio again, ball blocked and goes behind for a corner. Yeah, you expect Ben Siggers and Ego Goga probably to know each other from days at Cheshunt, of course. But it's a corner on this near side then. George Ironton has the opportunity to put the ball across here and cause some problems inside that Biggleswade 18-yarder. Another high one, looking for Coker on the back stick, managed to get his head there, and in the end it's Draper who makes a bit of a meal of clearing it, but he does in the end. And Siggers could put Ware in trouble there, because here's John Lacey on the edge of the area. Giorgio goes down, but Siggers atones for his earlier error and gets back to give a corner at the other end. So a corner at one end, quickly followed by one at the other. Biggleswade pushing players forward. Only Liam Dawson up for Ware inside the centre circle. Corner's going to come in on this near side of the field. That's a high one going for the back post as well. Ramaya Mills is the first one up and heads it away. Looking for Joe Dearman. Dearman's in a challenge with Morrell on that far side, but it's is it Ware who get the throw in? No, in fact it's Biggleswade throw in, which will be taken by their number 6 Charles Briggs. Nothing doing as far as substitutes warming up at the moment, so I think it's one of those games really, isn't it? It's the first manager to blink who wants to change the system in a game so tightly contested as this one, as ball threads its way out to De Silva on that far side, brings in Kieran Forbes. Forbes evades Freddie Moncur, brings in De Silva again. Here's Lacey's ball. He finds Draper on the edge of the area. Draper going for a run down the right-hand side of the area. Can't get it across. And Furlong, with the help of Giorgio, will sort it out for Ware. At the other end, Forster has to come a long way out and find Morrell midway inside his own half. He finds Callum Wilson. Wilson forwards, looking for Andrews, who goes down under challenge from George Ironton. And Biggleswade will get themselves a free kick right in front of us here. Kieran Forbes chips the ball down the line, but Giorgio's in the way. Goes on one of those runs, but loses the ball, and in the end he brings Forbes down, and Steph Giorgio's going to get himself a booking for that. He really started off on one of those runs, more like Karai Mashani does for Hartford, but lost his way, and in the end got himself a booking.
Yeah, I mean, he's managed that to get himself in the book. The referee's just pointing to him, saying, look, there's one there, there's one there, and he's seen enough, and got him in the book.
Free kick at Biggleswade Town then, just beyond the centre circle. Once more, Liam Dalston only one forward. John Lacey is going to take the free kick with the right boot. Chips it to the far post. Draper goes down again. But he does like everybody getting his attention when he falls down, doesn't he, Harry Draper? That's about the third time that he yells when he's hit the deck.
He does, doesn't he? I mean, he definitely wants the referee to know about it as well, doesn't he? I think he's one of those players who's vocal. He's trying to win every foul that he can.
Well, that's been a good battle between him and Ware's back three. No doubt about it. They've all known they're in a game. Kick taken by Bentley. Long one forwards. Mills can't get hold of it. Here is Draper. This time he's got Furlong wrestling. Brings Darian Furlong. In fact, Darian brings him down, and Darian's going to get a yellow card. So Darian Furlong gets a yellow card. 2 quick yellow cards for Ware. And Biggleswade get themselves another free kick. It looked like 6 of one and half a dozen, really. But referee has booked Darian, who has had a red card this season, of course. Got it in the game against Stopfold. As free kick once more is going to be taken by John Lacey. Stop-start, really. Beginning of this second period at Watson Park. 0-0. Lacey's free kick. Midway inside the Ware half. Right-hand side of the field. Free kick goes to the far post. Draper can't get near it, and it will go behind for a goal kick. 10 minutes gone in the second half here on 90 Minutes Live in association with Easy Shelf Direct Limited. And at the same time, it's really, which manager's going to blink in terms of substitutions, isn't it?
I think that's it, isn't it? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't necessarily expect to see anything, in those first 5 minutes of the half.
As Ramaya Mills fires a shot against Wilson, and Ware will get a throw in on this near side, which Darian Furlong wants.
But yeah, I mean, as I was saying, I wouldn't have expected anything, immediately. But I think certainly, you'd expect something, to possibly happen in the next 10 minutes. And does either of these managers see a real necessity to change with what they've got on the bench at the moment? We don't know. And are they waiting for each other to change anything? Who knows? It's time will tell, I guess.
Attacking options all round on the bench as Giorgio wins Ware another corner for a challenge coming in from Callum Wilson, and Steph has stayed down, and referee wants to go and have a little bit of a look. I think he felt that challenge. I'm not sure it's going to be a corner or a free kick actually, but Forbes is there again in the referee's ear. In fact, he's going to be a corner. It's Joe Dearman who's going to take it this time from the near side. Steph still struggling to get to his feet. He's down on his haunches. And Forbes is talking himself into the referee's book there, is he?
It certainly looks like it, yeah.
It seems. I haven't seen the card yet, but the referee's doing some writing. I wonder if it's Draper or Forbes or both. In fact, it's Harry Draper that he put the card towards. So, corner to be taken then. on this near side of the field. Oh, my word. That one's gone into orbit as it goes above everybody and out tamely for a goal kick.
I think it's all that whining and appealing and shouting at the referee that's built up, and the referee's had enough of it. He don't want to hear him anymore, does he? And he's saying, right, yellow card, keep yourself quiet, I think.
4 yellows, 2 for each side so far. Ball chipped forward onto the chest of Echo Coker. Ball forward for Ramaya Mills, turns it on, looking for the on-running George Ironton. Couldn't find him, and it's back with Biggleswade. Lose the ball, and George Ironton is wrestled to the ground by Andrews, but the referee says nothing doing. Ball forward, Draper's onside, but Bentley will come out and collect it quite comfortably. The time to spare on the edge of his 18-yard area. Sam Bentley then, 19-year-old, dual registration from St Albans. He chips the ball forward, looking for Dearman's run. Freddie Moncur will pick it up midway inside the Biggleswade half and turn on the far side to Ben Siggers. Siggers down the line, looking for Liam Dawson. Liam's shepherded down there by Charlie Briggs. Liam still in possession, holds on to it well, brings in Freddie Moncur. Moncur finds Siggers. Liam Dawson back for Dan Rumans, who slips on the surface. Ball bounces off of Kieran Forbes and goes behind for a throw-in to Ware on that far side of the field. Darian Furlong staying at home, so it's not going to be a long one. As Ben Siggers has to reach over the fence to retrieve the ball. Dan Romans, it is, will take the throw-in for Bill Wolsey's team. Down the line, looks for Siggers, the left full-back, tries to pull the ball across. He does, in fact, but it's Briggs who clears it quite easily as Furlong goes down under challenge again from Draper. That was perhaps a nothing challenge, but surely Harry Draper's got to be careful because these are just adding up, aren't they?
He has got to be very careful, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised the referee didn't even have a quick word with him and say, look, calm yourself down some, He's walking a thin rope, I think, at the moment.
There's Dan Romans on the left-hand edge of the penalty area. Decent bit of footwork, but De Silva stuck with him. Plays the ball back on that far side to Siggers, who gets the ball across and does well. Draper clears it from round about the penalty spot. And he's just going to drift out of play on that far side for a throw-in. So when he has got forward down the left-hand side, young Ben Siggers has shown that he can get the ball across into dangerous positions. So Darian Furlong will take the throw-in for Ware on the halfway line. Long throw forward over the head of Mills. De Silva puts it down to Forbes, who can just hit it over his head. High and hopeful on that far side, out for a throw-in. Darian, who part of the footballing family, of course. Paul was his father, and his brothers currently playing for West Brom in the Championship. First manager to blink then, or managers, should I say. Danny Payne and Jim Martin, because they are sending on the number 15 Marcus Goldborn, who's going to come into the play and going off. They flashed that board up so quick I didn't even see who was on it, to be honest. It's Tommy Ablanas who's going to go off, so he's off. And Miles Goldborn is on, who'd be worth just a little bit less if he had his name on the back of the shirt than Tommy Blankenhassen would, but not too many letters in there. Both will get you a few points at Scrabble as Darian Furlong blows the ball towards the edge of the area. Liam Dawson's in there. Oh, it hits Liam. Didn't really know much about it, and then bounces into the arms of the goalkeeper, Kyle Forster. Bowls it out. Breaks under challenge from Mills. Finds a bit of space on this near side for Callum Wilson. Giorgio closes that space down. Wilson will get it back and runs into Echo Gogo, which is not a wise thing to do. Good ball by Echo. Finds George Ironton, plays it to his left to Joe Dearman, fires in the shots over the top that takes a deflection and going to, and Ware get a corner.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great little move, I think, there from Ware, and the best that they've had this second half. and someone else who's feeling the force of Echo Coker.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to. He's one you don't want to beat. We don't know Echo, but I think he's one of those gentle giants. But certainly been very effective. Let's see what he can do at this corner. George Ironson's back on corner duty on the far side, this time to the near post. Headed out by Draper. And away for a throw-in to Ware, which Darian Furlong will take. Almost as good as a corner on that far side of the field. We still stand at 0-0. Last time we had a 0-0 at Watson Park. Well, I'm going to have to go back sometime because I can't remember one.
No, I think it's certainly been a while for us, I think.
As Darian Furlong will take the throw. Up they go, headed out by Briggs. Furlong can't get there ahead of the Silver, who just hoofs it towards the halfway line, and Ware will get themselves a throw in on that halfway line. Just looking down at the bench, there's a substitute warming up, actually a couple of Ware substitutes warming up. Interesting to see. So Kieran Bishop perhaps would be an obvious one. So ball on that far side with Dan Rumans. Rumans chips it forward, sends Joe Dearman going down the left-hand flank, but gets too much on it, and it will go behind for a goal kick. Plenty of attacking options, you've got to say. I mean, in Richard Enning, Kieran Bishop, Drac Jarea and Matt Walsh, all players who are an attacking threat. So, plenty of chances to change it. But at the moment, I don't know whether you would.
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Paul would like to get a goal, but I think they've been fairly decent so far. I think it's just a case of maybe give it another few minutes and just see what he can do, see what effect the Biggleswade change has on the game. I mean, I don't know. He might want to bring Jack Dreyer on for 5-10 minutes or so towards the end of the game. Depends how it's going. So as he finds his way back from fitness, so we shall see what Paul does.
Well, Jack's got a record of scoring spectacular late goals. One could be required here. The Silver picks the ball up, chips it forward, looking for the on-running substitutes goal ball. It goes out and will be a goal kick to Ware. Sam Bentley looking for his first clean sheet on his debut. Should be a good something for the young man. Freddie Burbage out, of course. We wish Fred all the best, and hopefully he will be back in contention very shortly. Forward by George Irons and almost on by Liam Dawson, but in the end it's clear by Briggs all the way to Echo Coker on the halfway line. Coker is challenged by Draper. Freddie Moncur picks it up, brings in Joe Dearman down this right-hand side. Joe's brought down by not one but two. And Morell and Andrews both brought him down. As the man behind me says, book him. If Andrews were to get here, God, he'd be off because he's already been booked in the first half. But it's not going to be. It's going to be a free kick. So this time it's Ben Siggers who's come across and going to take it with the left boot. Furlong, Mills and Coker and Dan Rumans all looking for late runs from the edge of the area on that far side. Let's see what Ben Siggers can do here. Siggers' kick looks to the edge of the area, couldn't beat the first man. It's still there though. Rumans goes up and it's Draper who actually, was that Draper who went down? Yeah, it was Draper who went down. He didn't yell, that's why I didn't recognise it.
Perhaps he's learned his lesson from that yellow card.
Free kick to Ware, but not before a bit of attention inside that 18-yard box to Lewis Thorpe, who looks to have got himself a bit of cramp. So our focus turns to the other end. Paul Wolsey's looking at the watch there with Kevin Coon and Joe O'Brien, and possibly thinking about making a change. Who knows? Christmas is coming. There's three wise men for you, isn't there?
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Thought forward to the head of Dan Rumans and out of play on that far side for a throw in. The wind's picked up here. It's making a little bit of a difference, I think, as well. Throwing midway inside the Ware half. It's going to be left on that far side to Briggs. Briggs will take it short to Goldthorne, the substitute. Neat feet, turns around two players, goes to go around Freddie Moncur and then lays it down the far side for De Silva. De Silva will play it back for Forbes, who brings in Goldthorne again. He goes down under challenge from Freddie Moncur, and Biggleswade Town have themselves a free kick on that far side of the field, parallel to the edge of the Ware 18-yard area. And the referee just having a little bit of word with Freddie. One more and he may well join the other four in the book.
Yeah, I mean, he's pointing to a couple of areas of the pitch, isn't he? He's saying, right, there's been that one, and he sort of like, signals as if to say, no more, that's enough. So I think you're right there, Pete. If he does commit another foul, then he'll be joining the others in his notebook.
John Lacey's going to take the free kick in front of the Biggleswade Town fans who've got a couple of flags on that far side. Green Army, Waders as well represented. So here's Lacey's kick. Only Liam Dawson forward for Ware. Referee taking his time about blowing the whistle, does now. Lacey chips it forward, up goes Draper. Once again a big yell. Once again the referee gives it the opposite direction. And,
I think you can hear the response from the crowd there. They're sort of like chuckling and laughing, and they know how persistent he's been with those appeals, and he's not going away with it. And he weren't impressed with not getting that one his way, was he?
Let's keep the season of puns going. We found a pantomime villain, I think. Harry Draper thrown to Ware right by the Biggleswade Town dugout. Be taken by Darian Furlong. Echo Goga's come up to the edge of the 6-yard box. Dan Ruman's in there as well, aimed towards Dan, who gets it but just puts it up in the air, further up in the air by Geraint Forbes. Lacey stutters a little bit, and Goga puts it back to Giorgio, who will bring in Darian Furlong. Furlong's ball across is too far ahead of the on-running Liam Dawson, and it's threaded out quickly, looking for Goldborn on that far side, but he can give it in. And Ware will have a throw in far side of the field. 25 minutes, second half gone here at Watson Park. 90 minutes live in association with Easy Shelf Direct. Pete and Simon with you. And still we await the first goal. Sigur's ball certainly hit worse than that, as Ryan Mills goes to the right hand side of the area to pick it up. Back for Freddie Moncur. Giorgio's there as well. First time cross, bounces off of Geraint Forbes. Moncur brings it down as well. Mills will keep it in. Then puts the ball across the area, cleared up the near post by Callum Wilson. George Ironton back in possession, chips it forward, looking for Mills. Arrell heads it forward, George into the back of Goldborn. And the referee will want a little bit of a word with Ware's number 10. Referee wanting a word with George. I don't think there's going to be any more than a word from our referee, Tommy Breen. And again, he's pointing out areas where George has transgressed across the field. And I think he's on a final warning as well. They have had 34 yellows so far this season, and 35 could well be arriving fairly shortly if those two don't take heed of what the referee's told them. Restarted here. Here's thought. Plays the ball to Burrell on this near side. He's waiting a bit unsure, but Ware haven't really got a press, and particularly not on that left-hand side, where Briggs brings it forward to the halfway line. Gets the ball back again from De Silva. Briggs again chips it forward. Linesman's flag goes up, and there's going to be a yellow card, which is coming out here, I've got the feeling. The referee looks, and I think, is it Dan Rumans who's on the receiving end? It is Dan Rumans who's on the receiving end. So, we said booking number 35 for the season for Ware wasn't far away, and there it was.
Oh, you was right, it wasn't far away at all, was it? I don't know if it was even 30 seconds for that. It's 35 for the season for him, and hopefully it stays at 35 for this game.
Well, Biggleswade Town got themselves a free kick. A flurry of Ware substitutes just returned to the bench. As Lacey will play into Silver on that right-hand side. His cross is high. Darian Furlong was there with Draper, who'd thrown himself to the ground again. Not for the first time this afternoon. Ware sorted out though, but Kieran Falls will grab it inside the Ware half. Goldborn, who lost his footing, did well to regain it and put the ball down the line looking for John Lacey. Decent ball that was. Pulls the ball inside. Darian Furlong heads it away. And Freddie Moncur gives it away to Goldborn. Goldborn plays the ball back to Forbes. Goldborn goes down under challenge, and the referee wants another word. It's all very scrappy so far, and Joe Dearman now has got himself in the referee's book, so that's 4 Ware players in the book, 2 for Biggleswade Town, 6 on the afternoon. Paul Halsey's not happy, not one of those outstretched what is he doing type looks about him. But Biggleswade have themselves another free kick. John Lacey and De Silva are over the ball on that far side of the field. Where once more just got Liam Dawson forward. Here's De Silva with the right boot this time. The header comes in and just goes wide at the target from Andrews.
A good effort there. And I think Sam Bentley, that just evaded his fingertips there, and thankfully it's gone wide.
Thumping challenge goes in by Ramaya Mills there. Jack Dreyer's about to join us, but absolutely clattered into that one. Got the ball, and Kieran Bishop.
Looks like it's going to be a double.
Looks like it's going to be a double. Here comes Jack Dreyer anyway, wearing 16. Not sure at the moment. Kevin's still doing the business with the ball. It's going to be Joe Damon who comes off, and Jack Dreyer comes on. I'll say that probably Joe's worked hard, not perhaps in a position that suits him. Whereas Jack Dreyer's going to come into a position very much that suits him. And Ramaya Mills, who I must say has really worked hard again this afternoon, goes off to be replaced by Kieran Bishop. Doesn't always get the run of the green Ramaya Mills, but you cannot criticise him for it's another announcement being made. You cannot criticise Ramaya Mills for a lack of commitment, can you?
No, absolutely not. He works hard all game, and this is another game like that where he's done so today. As you said, things haven't quite fallen for him, but he'll always give you 100%, and that's all you can ask for, isn't it?
Just formation hasn't changed a great deal. Jack Dreyer will drop into that area where Joe Dearman was. Kieran Bishop, well, we know what we'll get from him. As the throw-in's going to come in this near side from Darian Furlong. Kogut on the edge of the 6-yard box again. Up he goes, beaten to it in the air. On the edge of the area, it's Lacey who will try and complete the clearance, but thumps it against Furlong. And the ball goes out for a throw-in. 14 minutes left here at Watson Park, and still we await for the deadlock to be broken on what's becoming a bitterly cold afternoon with the wind blowing and just that sheen across the surface here that you get now. As Forster taking his time. I don't know whether Biggleswade would think this is a good point if they pick it up. They've only drawn 2 away from home this season, and Ware themselves have drawn 3 here so far. Is Kieran Bishop going in on the edge of that area. Kieran Bishop then, oh my word, what's happened there? Well, Kieran Bishop got himself involved, and I think he's going to get a red card here. Kieran Bishop has just been sent off, and it was Thorpe who went down inside the area. And I don't know what went on there, but I can only say it was pretty soft, because Thorpe's gone down as if he's been hit by a train, and Kieran Bishop has been shown a red card.
Well, I mean, I didn't see what actually happened, but I mean, the camera was pointing straight at him. So after the game, we'll have a look at exactly what happened there. But I don't know. I mean, I saw the keeper grab the ball. Obviously, the incident wasn't too far away from the keeper, but it looked like the keeper turned, looked like he was going to throw the ball, and I was watching him. And the next thing I see, he's on the floor, and Kieran Bishop's walking away from him. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened, but obviously the referee seen something he didn't like.
Well, you've got to say, we didn't see it. In Kieran Bishop's defence, he's an experienced player, and you wouldn't expect him to get involved in that kind of thing. But, it's another home game, and we're down to 10 men. They were against Stopfold, they drew that one, and they're going to have to see out the remainder of this one. 14 minutes with 10 men as well. Kieran Bishop off. Liam Dalton will play up front, you would think, on his own. George Ironton is trying to do a bit of rearranging. I'm feeling whether Jack Dreyer or George Ironton will pull just a little bit deeper. And meanwhile, Thorpe's down, getting his head massaged by the physio there, Bradley Strong. But, it's one of those that will be hotly debated. We will talk to Paul Horsey after the game, as we always do. And there's one question that writes itself. What did you think about the red card?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think he was too impressed. I think he's coming down the line. He's sort of like shrugging his shoulders as if to say, what's going on, what happened. The referee's now gone over to speak to his assistant. So I don't know what he's speaking to him about. And the referee looks, he's communicating with the Biggleswade bench. He's now I think he's going to speak to Paul now. I think he's telling him to go back. It's all taken a bit of a funny turn these last few minutes, hasn't it?
I thought he was looking for the monitor to go and see VAR again, but
he's now telling the physio to get off the pitch. Ref, give him a chance to get off the pitch. He's just been treating the player.
We are getting out of the way eventually, I promised. It's Forster, and it's thought, if he did get a thump from Kieran Bishop, fair enough. If he didn't, then certainly a contract awaits from Netflix, doesn't it? So we'll wait and see on that one. It's Ware that are down to 10, and Biggleswade Town will fancy their chances in the last 10 minutes or so here. Last 10 minutes of games, it's happened quite a bit here at Watson, as it has for a few seasons, of course. 9 goals, 4 and 6 against in the last 10 minutes as far as Ware are concerned. 5, 4 and 3 against for Biggleswade Town. Here's Draper, puts the ball down the line, but Furlong's got that fairly well covered, and then just gets thumped into the back by Goldborn. It was totally unnecessary, and Ware will get themselves a free kick. Substitution about to be made here. It's going to be a debut for Cady Bagg for Biggleswade Town, signed from Stopfold yesterday. He's going to come on, and it's the number 12, Jack Morrell, who goes off. And that's an attacking change. We'll see, it's interesting. I know Wilson's going to slot in at left back here. Bagg is an attacking player. So we'll see. It's going to be a free kick to Ware anyway, restarting. Left hand side. Long kick forward by Bentley, and was helped forward by Siggers, but in the end it'll bounce out for a throw-in to Biggleswade Town. 9 minutes left, plus time added on. Well, the referee didn't have much on the first half. He's got cause to have plenty on this second, but we'll see what happens. We're down to 10 men. Kieran Bishop, we didn't put the watch on Kieran Bishop, but that's got to be one of the fastest red cards of the season, if not the fastest red card of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know how long it was, but it wasn't long at all. And just out of interest, I'll go back at the end of the game and see how long it was on the clock from the filming.
Well, it's been full of incident. We haven't had that much goalmouth incident, but it's been one of those nil-nils you can't take your eye off, and yet to be decided. as Furlong picks the ball up. Poor header by Goldborn. Furlong puts it across the box, up in the air by Thorpe. It's going to land on the edge of the area ahead of George Ironton. Up goes Jack Dreyer, but can't do a lot with it. And the ball will go out harmlessly for a goal kick for visitors from Biggleswade. Top of the table, well, Bedford played 13-33, Northley played 14-30, Waltham Abbey played 16-28, Cirencester 17-25, and then you've got Biggleswade Town and Ware 23 points apiece, but Biggleswade have a game in hand. So should it stay the same, they'll both move on to 24. Edge just a little bit closer to Cirencester. Forbes puts the ball forward to De Silva. Goldborn screaming for it on this near side. Giorgio's in the way, but can only divert it into the path of Callum Wilson. Wilson's ball, though, is a poor one and just goes out on this near side. So, as expected, I think Ware have reorganised with Liam Dawson on his own up front, and George Ironton pulling just that little bit deeper to allow Jack Dreyer to play in his more familiar role. Referee's having a word with the bench now. Paul is having a talking to, and referee's assistant there as well. And referee's still having a word. Sorry to say it, but might be getting the red font out in the morning. Because the referee who looked pretty competent the first half has not covered himself in glory in this second period. So referee's having a word with the Biggleswade Town bench as well. Paul Halsey playing to the crowd a little bit.
Yeah, he's saying something to the crowd. I couldn't quite hear what he was saying, but something he's not feeling too impressed with.
So the ball heads in our direction from Lewis Thorpe. As Ware get themselves another throw in, which Darian Furlong will take down the line, looking for Jack Dreyer. He's not had a chance to get in the game. And he has Ware a throw in on this near side, which is as good as a corner. Cogan's up there again, edge of the 6-yard box. Furlong into the box. Referee tells him to get on with it. Here comes the throw from Darian. It's a good one. Up they all go, but it's Draper who gets his head there first. And again, on the edge of the area, it's Biggleswade who get themselves a free kick. Thorpe will take it and bring in Callum Wilson. Quick look at the watch tells us we've got 5 minutes plus time added on the go. Here's Goldborn running from left to right and then almost giving the ball away, but it's picked up by Lacey. Lacey tries to turn away from two Ware players, but neat back heel by Coker brings in George Ironton and finds Liam Dawson. Finds George again, forward for Jack Dreyer. Jack Dreyer's ball just a little overhit on this near side, and Liam Dawson can't keep it in. It was a nice triangle if they'd worked it. In the end, it was just a little bit too much on it from Jack Dreyer. Ball thumped forward towards the halfway line. Darian Furlong unchallenged and just let it drift out of play some 15 yards inside his own half. Throwing down the line, Thorpe blocks it and was lucky that Wilson was there to control it. It's Briggs. And away will come Biggleswade down the right. Bag hasn't had a touch yet. He's maybe looking for one now, but De Silva's ball through the middle, looking for Draper. But Furlong has been excellent, as always, this afternoon. And Ware coming forward with Steph Giorgio. Giorgio still going, plays the ball right to Liam Dawson, right side the area, puts it across the box. In they come! And he's got wide. Everybody thought it was in the net. And somehow or other, Ben Siggers has managed to put that wide of the target.
Well, as you say, everyone, the crowd's gone out, there's a big cheer, and everyone thought that was in, and everyone thought Ware had taken a late lead.
Well, it was a super cross from Liam Dawson. But at the other end now, they could be in trouble. Harry Draper, though, has given the ball away to Freddie Moncur. And he does well. It's a fine Bentley who just thumps it out on that far side. End-to-end stuff here. Well, to be fair, it is 0-0, but nobody's settling for a 0-0. 3.5 minutes plus time added on. This will be the first time Ware have failed to score at home since last season against Didcot. If we stay at 0-0, there's John Lacey. Brings in Goldborn. Goldborn looking to go around Giorgio and does so. Goldborn goes around Coker, but Steph Giorgio stuck to it well. Got back on terms and wins himself a free kick as well. Did well, the full back there. And Ware will have themselves a free kick. Final knockings here at Watson Park. Both these two that you would imagine will be there or thereabouts in the playoff picture on the evidence of this afternoon, as the ball picked up on that far side by Siggers, who can't control it this time, and De Silva will get it for Biggleswade Town. Plays the ball inside to the hard-working Andrews. Andrews back on the edge of the area for Lewis Thorne. Thorne on this near side brings in Callum Wilson. Wilson further down the touchline for Lacey. Lacey's controlling him down. Giorgio got in, but Biggleswade got the throw. Once again, the ball finds its way back to Thorpe. Forbes will play the ball inside his own half to Briggs, who brings in De Silva on that far side. Where need to concentrate here. Lacey will let the ball just tripped over his foot, got away with it, and there's Callum Wilson. Wilson left hand side the area, fires it in, and it's put in the back of the net by Goldborn. Biggleswade could have snatched it at the death here. Minute and a half to the end of the 90, and it's the substitute Marcus Goldborn who's put Biggleswade Town in front.
Well, Pete, I mean that was one of those elusive breakaway goals, wasn't it? And, it seemed to sort of come out of nowhere. Found the ball on this left-hand side. Crosses come in, and substitutes both link up to put Biggleswade 1-0 up in the dying moments.
Well, Giorgio looks to be feeling an injury here. It was he who lost the ball on this near side, and then when it came across, it was the substitute who drove it in for his first league goal of the season, and one which could condemn Ware to the second consecutive home defeat, which has been a rare occurrence over the years at Watson Park. Here's George Ironson coming forwards. But in the end, well, it's a lunging challenge by Briggs, which gives Ware a free kick. There's no doubt Stefanos Giorgio is struggling here with a groin strain. And, it's going to be a free kick to Ware. Let's see what they can achieve from here. It's a disappointing afternoon for them here at Watson Park. They haven't performed badly, but Biggleswade have got their noses in front. Siggers chips the ball forward, down by Draper. Giorgio hits it, takes a deflection and goes away. But referee, in fact, it goes away for a throw-in on this near side. Steph Giorgio's not going to be able to continue here. He's gone down again. And 5 minutes we're looking being added on. There is still opportunity here for Ware to get something out of this one at the depth of it, but looks like they're going to lose their right fullback in the way, because he's really struggling. And it's going to be a substitution for Biggleswade. Meanwhile, it's Cole De Silva who's going to go off, and Brett Longdon is going to come on. Very much a fullback for a fullback. Richard Ennin is going to come in here for Steph Giorgio. You can only imagine that he's a right-sided wide player, so he's going to slot in here. That's unfortunate for young Steph, who's times been plagued by injuries here, and that's another one. And on will come on Richard Ennin. So 5 minutes plus to be added on here, because Wade are down by their own corner flag on this near side. They lead by a goal to nil. A goal coming in the 88th minute of the game. And Ware needs something. Otherwise, it's going to be a very disappointing afternoon. As Siggers and Bentley almost getting each other's way, but long ball forward. Here's George Ironson going down the right-hand side. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. And it'll go behind for a goal kick. Where a push down Romans up as a centre forward. And going three at the back, with Siggers Darian Furlong and Ego Goga, with Richard Ennin operating in unfamiliar territory as a right wing back, but needs must. Well, it's been another dramatic afternoon. Sending off of Kieran Bishop certainly has changed the game. For what? Well, we'll wait to see the thoughts on that one. But we're down to 10 men, succumbed to that breakaway goal, and that's how we stand at the moment as the header comes in from Draper. Freddie Moncur will pick it up for Ware. Enning goes sprinting outside him. Dawson just delays the ball, but enough for George Ironton to get it right hand side of the box. George manages to win a throw-in. It's going to be taken quickly by Richard Ennin, is it? Or are they going to wait for Darian Furlong? Wait, says Echo Goga. Here comes Darian Furlong to hurl one into the box. Goga goes forward. Biggleswade Town push everybody back towards that 18-yard area. Throw comes in from Darian Furlong. Up comes Dan Rumans. Darian heads it in from the edge of the area, but it's easy meat for the goalkeeper Forster, who comes out and collects it inside the 6-yard box. 3 of the allotted 5 have been played here at Watson Park. A few people heading for the exits. Ware 0, Biggleswade Town 1. Real disappointment for Balls' team as they go for 2 tricky away games at AFC Dunstable, and at Welling Garden City will be following them in both of those. Will be interesting against AFC Dunstable's young team, who certainly like to play a bit of football. But Ware will have to regroup as Darian Furlong will take the throw in. Still not over yet though. Throw forward over the head of Rumans. Here's Draper, anywhere will do. Thumps it back. Bentley's going to have to go across and collect it. He's unfortunate to finish on the losing side as it looks at the moment. Young Sam Bentley looked a decent young keeper, done everything he's needed to do. Had no chance at all with the goal. He's going to take the goal kick. Surely this Ware's last opportunity. Oh, he misses the goal kick in the end, and the ball breaks into the Ware half. Coker's there, out comes Bentley, chips it forward, looking for the on-running George Ironton, but 2 bounces will take it into the chest of Kyle Forster, and more seconds will be eats away off that clock as Forster does that goalkeeper thing of falling down on the ball on the edge of the 6-yard box. Well, Kempston, Stockfold, Hadley and Barton have all been successful away trips for the Waders. Will they add Watson Park to that? Time is running out for Ware as header comes in from Darian Furlong. Lacey threads out on the far side looking for Bagg. Bagg is there with Siggers at his back. Bagg still trying to go down the line. Good challenge coming in from Siggers, but oh wow, this game could have been different if he'd made that opportunity which he put wide after the lovely cross from Liam Dawson. But ifs, buts and maybes, the way it stands at the moment, Ware trail by a goal to 0. Throw-in's going to be taken on that far side, and he's finally taken down by the corner flag, who's Harry Draper. Tries to put it across the box. Goga thumps it towards the halfway line, but it's going to go out of play for a throw-in on that far side of the field. And once again, the Waders will take their time about it. Down the line, onto the heads of Ben Siggers, but it's the cheers from the Biggleswade Town fans on the far side that resonate out here at Watson Park. The locals go home with glum faces because it's finished here. Ware 0, Biggleswade Town 1.
Yeah, not the sort of result that, as you say, the locals or Paul wanted. He looks rather glum-faced. So something does seem to be occurring on the other side of the pitch. I don't know. There seems to be a gathering of the players. Referee's blowing his whistle. It doesn't look anything too serious. I think it's just a couple of players having a little disagreement. But it's a disappointing result for the Ware boys. But they just need to, as you said, pick themselves up and get ready for the next couple of games.
Yeah, disappointing afternoon. Things seem to have settled down on that far side, which is good to see. There was nothing between these two teams, absolutely nothing at all. I don't think there was anything on the day between these two teams, but Kieran Bishop's red card, well, we'll hear what Paul Aldi thought about that shortly, and it'll be on the 90 minutes live post-match tomorrow. But great chance for Ben Siggers, which he missed, and had that gone in, things have been different. But as it was, well, Biggleswade Town came here to do a job. They did it well. And on the league table, they will move, let me just have a look here, they'll move above Cirencester into fourth place, and Ware will stay in sixth. And next time, Ware will be at home, of course. It'll be Hartford Town in the East Hearts Derby, the 101st East Hearts League Derby. That's going to be something special on Boxing Day. But Simon's just having a little bit of a look here. We have a look at what happened with Kieran Bishop, and well, I can't see a lot with that. Let's have a look at it again. He's come out. The goalkeeper's got the ball. He's gone past Lewis Thorpe.
It looks like they've just clashed. I mean, it does look like his elbow catches him.
You've got to wonder for the amount of time Lewis Thorpe spent down. I don't know. I can't see. Normally if you get something, you'll see.
I think as they've clashed, his left arm just seems to sort of like come down on his back and hit him there, but. That's not red card worthy, is it?
Well, you wouldn't have thought so. And I think the one telling thing from that is his arm was not away from his body. Whereas, if you are something like that, it's going to happen. Your arm would tend to be away from your body. So, well, that's it from here at Watson Park. We'll wait to have a word with Paul. He'll be as forthright as he always is. And we thank him for that. Thank you for keeping us company and joining us here. If you are from Biggleswade, the Bedfordshire area, wish you, of course, luck for the rest of the season. And just want to get something coming in from Jake Bunyan a few seconds ago. Love it, Marcus. Well, Jake, we didn't love it, but great to hear from you, buddy, and continue your recovery. Hope to see you back out there soon. As for us, well, we'll be at Creasy Park this time next week. AFC Dunstable against Ware. Ware need to regroup. Look forward to that one. I'm going to look forward to getting into the wall now. Getting a bit chilly, isn't it?
I am. Yeah, that wind's picked up and the temperature's really dropped. So, the hot bovril time, I think.
Yeah, time for a hot bovril. Why not have one yourself? Thanks for listening to us. We will speak to you live from 2:55 next Saturday at Creasy Park, and I'll leave you with the full-time score here at Watson Park. Ware 0, Biggleswade Town 1.